have a question. I just want to ask the masses, and this can be anybody can ask this question or answer this question, but at what point do you just get fed up with games? Back to what I was saying. At what point do you think about the games that people play in your face? Because mainly, and this is not like for all the things that we go through, but you see this? Let me back up a little bit. Yeah. Are we looking at this band all across here and then watching the hair? Are we all seeing that this is a headband wig? We seeing all of this. This is scalp. This is me. Yeah, that's me. This is scalp. This is the band to this. Are we all seeing that this is what's going on here? I digress. You ever had a love-hate relationship with something that plays games in your face with you? That's what I'm having with this right now. Now, everything, 75% of my core, maybe 80%, despises this. Despises this. The other half is madly in love with it, just because it's absolutely ridiculous. Why would you do this? Yeah. If I want a little razzle dazzle, I could cock it to the side a little bit. Just that right there. A moment of mystery. You want to see me? Yeah. I need to expose myself so I can see you. Other than that, please don't speak to me. It's all the way around like this. Yeah. Like, it's all the way around like this. And then the tag is just egregious with how it's just protruding like this. Like, constantly I have to pull it back in there. And you know what? I could just cut that off. As a matter of fact, I might just cut that off. I mean, I've had it like this for a while, and I just deal with it, but I could just cut that off. But anybody would typically think that I just had my hair pulled around into a ponytail. I would assume you would think that. Anybody that's normal would be like, I'm sorry, why'd y'all just put it right here? On top of that, look at that. The tracks is out on the actual band. Let me flip it around so you can see. See that? Yeah. And I specifically put this on when I have to be on camera at work. Because for me, it's that little razzle dazzle that I need. Like, I could just put on a beanie or a bonnet. But no, this gives you that little Purple Rain vibe, you know? That little artist formerly known as somebody who had hair vibe. Yeah. By the way, that is my name. The artist formerly known as I used to have hair. Yeah. But since God likes for me to be his personal Chia pet, yeah. Because I've even gotten my little sideburns lasered off because they just in the way. Like, if I put on a wig, I don't want these in the way. I don't want to be like, ooh, let me not get my sideburn hairs in the little spray. So I had them lasered them off. God politely came in the next week and was like, oh, I see that you took those off when I put those there. Let me put those back. Yeah. And so, for those of you who don't know, and who would, most people don't know. I tell people if it's a need to know, but hey, I'm just being open right now. I have PCOS, right? So PCOS is a polycystic ovarian syndrome. It kind of affects all of your hormones in your body. So the very hormones that attribute to hair growth and stuff like that, they either overproduce in certain areas or underproduce in certain areas. Underarm hair, like this, Chia pet. Scalp hair, you see any scalp? It's a lovely bed of hair that you got there. It's like the good Lord is like, yeah, I see all the hair you got right there. Because faith is believing that which you don't see and trusting and standing on it. So yeah, I trust and see lots of hair there. You may not see it, but I don't think you are applying yourself so that, you know, you can see said hair. What's really going to get you though is this little patch of hair that God keeps. Boop, let me grow that back out for you. You shaved it off? Who told you to do that? Yeah, I shave this off every 2 weeks. Not every 2 weeks, 2 months. I shave this off. Has the audacity to have a gray hair in there too. It's the disrespect for me. It's just compounded disrespect. It just grows. And if I let this go, this will grow into a massive fro and ponytail. Just starting back here though. 4 to 5. Why is it back here though? And it's like every time I shave this off, within about 2 weeks, it's like a little tiny fro is already there. And I out of spite, I won't even oil it because it pissed me off. But it'll grow every 2 weeks soon as I put it there. And last week I couldn't do this. Like 2 weeks ago, I couldn't do that. I couldn't pull it. Now I can put this little clip in it like this. It wouldn't do that before. I had to cut off because I had a phone call. I'm back. Now we've moved our scenery to the couch. Now back to what I was talking about. And what's funny is I took a call and adjusted my wig to the side like this. For some reason, I like to take calls like this. Like, I don't understand. Like, sometimes I'll pull it all the way down and just have it like this. But I, for some reason, like to take calls like this. And it's not like I have a headset on, right? Like, I don't know why. For some reason, this ear feels so much better covered like this. The other ear, I don't like that other side, though. I don't like this other side. Yeah, I don't like that. For some, it's the same thing, just on a different side. I don't like this. Yeah. I don't, nope, it's gotta be on this side. Like, yes, it's gotta, what is this? Oh, I don't know, a piece of gold thread. But, I don't know. I like this, but let me see how you can pull this up further. I should start just wearing it like this. Just pull it all the way right here. Just really just throw people off in the meetings. They're gonna be like, I'm sorry, what you got going on? And you know, the internet is no joke. Internet gonna come and be like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to ask you to either pull that up or pull that down. But one of them gotta go. But see, I don't like this. I might have to cut this off. This little tag. Wait, what does that say? Well, let me take this off. See, yeah, it's like 2 scoops of hair right here. We're not even gonna get into that. The good Lord likes for this to come back. Like, boop, I'm gonna put that back. You shaved it off because you didn't want to deal with it? I'm gonna give you the strongest soldier package and I'm gonna add it back for you. So you can, so it can be itchy. Seeing as how you won't oil it as you should, like you should do your entire body. You should oil it. You know, your skin is an organism. You want to take good care of it. But you know what's really gonna piss me off about this now that I see this? Anybody else? Hold on, I'm gonna have to switch that out, but I just realized this and I never noticed this. This is a Vivica A. Fox unit. So Viv authorized this with the tracks on here like this? With this? This is a Vivica A. Fox hair collection? I did not know that this entire time. I'm never gonna watch your videos ever again, like your movies in general ever again. Cause what? This? That's how you feel about us? This is what you doing? This is what you doing? As my mom will say. Eh. Why? I guess I could tuck this. Wait, is this a new hairstyle? Let me see if I can tuck that there. That's not bad. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. What y'all think? I don't mind that. But it does, it's given you have one scoop of hair right here in the front of your head. It's given that. Like, I'm not even gonna pretend that it's not. I mean, I don't mind that. As long as it stays like that, I don't mind. I don't mind. Overall, I despise this wig, this unit. I despise it. Vivica should stop production on it ASAP. First of all, now that I'm starting to think about this, I don't think my mama gave me this. Who gave me this? Where did I get this from? I feel like this man came, you know how they have promotions where, hey, you buy this wig and get one free. I'd love to participate in those. I'm thinking I may have gotten that from here because my mama wouldn't do me like this. My mama wouldn't do me like this. She did say it still looked cute on me, which I agree. It's still giving. It's still giving. I might have to stop at my Chia. I might have to stop at my church meeting. It's given. I have to stop at my church meeting tonight. But I don't mind this. It's still giving me artist formerly known as. Like, I love it. Yeah, I'm digging it. I can rock with. I still like it. I'm cutting that part of that wig off now that I know that's from Vivica A. Fox. I don't even want you associated with my scalp like this no more. Once I cut the tag off, you have no. We're not gonna acknowledge you ever again on here because it's disrespectful. That this what was in production for you, and you thought that was cool just to put just the hair here, but the tracks is still slightly exposed. Like somebody can walk past and be like, "Why your tracks out?" I can literally put my finger in between here. Why? Why? Is you cool? Is your production company cool? This is why you should have a hands-on analysis of the products that you're putting out. This is why. That right there, because I basically ought to hot glue that back. Yeah. They could come back and be like, oh, well, that's wear and tear. The track shouldn't be right there in the first place like that. The track should be embedded within the fabric where it's underneath the fabric. So underneath here, and this is coming out. Like, but first of all, it shouldn't just be bunched up right here. Like, you know what? And then if I put this back in the back, if I want a ponytail, I gotta push this right here, and I don't like that tag. I mean, that's still giving. I still like that. That's giving Tortuga. That's giving Pirates of the Caribbean to me. You know what it reminds me of? Y'all probably haven't seen it, but I'm a very big Pirates of the Caribbean Disney fan. Not all Disney movies, but Pirates of the Caribbean because Captain Jack Sparrow, my homie. But this is given William after he came back from the depths. When he came back up, he had on his little headband. Yes, it's giving William Turner. Yeah, I rocks with this like this. It's giving William Turner. I absolutely love it. I hate this wig though, Vivica. I don't want you to ever think that that's not the case. I'm rocking with it because I like the way it's sitting and giving me Pirates of the Caribbean right here. Like it makes me want to sing that song. Wait, what was it? Yo, no, I don't forgot, but that little dramatic song that they sang, for a minute I was stuck on that song. Like I would just be in the house randomly singing that song and moving slow as if I was like walking myself to the gallows. Like sometimes I get into songs and just be immersing myself in them and the environment that they would have been played in after seeing them. But yeah, I'm rocking this. I should shave this off. God. He ain't gonna do nothing but be like, oh, you shaved it off again? Let me put that back for you. Boop. Yeah, you just need three teaspoons of hair. Got you. Oh, okay, yeah. You shaved off the 3 teaspoons that I gave you. Let me give you 3 teaspoons back. Mm-hmm. Wait, you said you wanted it to grow all the way to the front of your head like it used to. Nah, we don't make those in production no more. Those were discontinued. You just make do with pulling it like 8 inches back. Like it's literally, you know what? You know what it's thought of? I literally have. Wait, this is a 13? Actually, I have a big head. This is a 14. Thanks, Dad. This is a 14 inch. Except, what do they say when your stuff start farther back? I don't know because they're not supposed to start that far back. But this is a 14 by like 19 lace front right here. Yeah. Yeah. I'll get myself a 14 by 8 lace front. You know what? I should just wear this little hat the way T.I. be wearing them. I love the way T.I. wears hats. I never could figure out how he get them to stay perfectly in the center. I know he using tape. I know he using tape to tape them. It be so perfectly just sitting, or it just be like right here. I absolutely love the way T.I. rock his hats like this. I love it. If I could pull that off, I would. You know what? I should get some Gots to be glued. No, I'm gonna use boho. Boho is the truth. Boho is my absolute favorite. I'm gonna get some boho and shave all of that fuzz that the good Lord keep giving me off, playing me like a Chia pet. But I'm gonna get it and just rock it right in the center, like Ti do. Yeah. Actually, I don't mind this either. I don't mind it. It's like a little puff right there, like a little puff of pizzazz. If I want a little razzle dazzle. I just hate those scars. I don't know how they got there. I've been trying to figure out for like years. I don't know where these came from. It's like Wolverine just went past my shit and was like, got you. Logan got me. I don't know. What happened here? I didn't have any injuries that I know of right here. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. It's smooth though. Like you would think it was some type of abrasion there. It's very smooth. I don't know what that is. I probably should get that looked at just to make sure it's not something malignant, like something kind of creep in underneath the skin or something. I'm not sure what that is. Like it's no pain, doesn't hurt. This never really did heal up. So for those of you who don't know, I used to live in this house when we were little, and we lived there for a while. But we would always hear things go bump in the night, always. Like all of us would be asleep, and sometimes I'm an insomniac, so I would be up. Like sometimes I would get in bed at like 12, And I would not fall asleep until it was like 3. Just laying there looking at the ceiling. Like, because after a while you get tired of watching TV, like your eyes start to hurt. So I just turn everything off and laying in the dark. You'll literally hear footsteps going up. Now in my room is adjacent directly to the stairs that are leading to the second floor. And up above my room, there's the walkway leading to the other rooms that are in the upper floors. And my uncle's room is directly above the living room. And then my brother's room is towards the front of the house. So it was a long hallway. So when I would be laying there, I know everybody's asleep. Everybody's asleep. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody gone. My grandma would send everybody to bed because we got to get up for school. My uncle, he would be gone. I think usually he had like some things going on, so he wasn't there. But it was just me, my brothers, and my sisters, right? And my mom. And everybody be asleep in their rooms, in their beds, you know, and you hear footsteps. There's nothing happening. Everybody's asleep. And you hear footsteps going up and down the stairs. And it would stop sometimes in the middle of the stairway, as if somebody forgot something, but they never went back up or down. It would just stop. And then you would kind of hear them resume their trajectory of going up or down. And then sometimes you would just hear them continuously go up. And then I would hear them turn in the corner upstairs and the footsteps starting above my room, like directly above. And then it would just stop. Now, for me, it just stopped because they've reached that part of the hallway where either you're going into my uncle's room or you're continuing down the hallway going into my brother's room. So I never heard it beyond that. It came to find out there's a family that died off in our home. Nobody ever told us. And I'm not sure if my grandmother knew. I'm not sure if anybody knew that detail. I found about that like 10, 15 years later. Now, one particular night was weird. I had never ever seen anything, felt anything. Like, as I'm thinking about it, you have those moments where you think somebody's watching you, right? So you don't really categorize, I think somebody's watching me on April 12th, 1993. Like, you don't remember those dates. I remember when I was 17 one night. Now, my grandmother was she was completely disabled. So she couldn't really walk very well. She had to use a walker. And throughout the nights, she would call us, depending on who was up or not up, but who was closest to her. My room was across from her, so I was genuinely the one that she called for help. And she woke me up. I was laying there and she yelled, "Yogi!" Yogi's my nickname as a kid. I get up. I'm sitting on the edge of the bed. Putting on my little house shoes is sitting right there. And I already had on pajamas. I'm just putting on my little house shoes. Because I hate stuff on my feet. I hate anything debris-wise on my feet. So I had to put on the little house shoes. But I also don't like shoes. Hate shoes. Hate socks. All of it. I feel trapped. So I'm putting on slipping them on or whatever. And I'm like just gathering myself. Because, like once you laying down for a while and you kind of just like groggy and out of it, you just like, just getting up, right? I stood up. Something out of nowhere had beef with me. I had no idea. Anyway, it punched me smooth out. Like, I'm fat. Can you tell from my face? I'm fatty. You see this? You don't get these by being skinny. Well, I've never met any skinny people with neck rolls, but it's probably some. Whatever. At 17, I was like no less than 275, 300. I've pretty much been a fatty for like the entire existence that I've known. I think I may not have been a fatty at like 7. It's pushing it. I know I was greedy at 7. Example, 6th grade, I was wearing like a 16 with like double D's. So pretty much been thick to fat my entire life, right? Something hit me with so much force that I got thrown over a queen size bed. So, you know, when you're on the edge of a bed, right? You stand up. Something would have to hit you with so much force to where you flew to the back of the wall and slid down like a slinky or a spaghetti noodle. That's what I did. It hit me with that much force, and that's the scar it left. That's the scar. I don't know what they beefing with me for. I never said nothing or did nothing out of pocket to them. And you know what? After that, I realized that I couldn't categorize my grandmother as being crazy. I figured she was on a lot of medication because she had a lot of pain and a lot of surgeries and things that had failed on her. And at that point, she could no longer do surgery to correct it. So she would wail in pain. I used to feel so helpless because it was nothing that I could do to stop that pain, right? You know, you want to help your grandmother. You don't want her screaming like that in pain. Like, I'm talking about screaming in pain, you know? And one night she was like, hey, come get this bear. And when I say, hey, I'm just saying that as in this context right now, but it was more so in the context of yelling, come get this effing bear out of my room. Now, keep in mind, she had a giant stuffed panda in her room. It was a gift given to her by my great aunt, who's now passed, which was her little sister. And we had never had any problems. She had this for like years. Just out of nowhere, she's screaming as if someone is attacking her. And I run in there. I'm like, what's the problem? Get this effing bear out of here. And I'm like, the teddy bear that's on your bed? She's like, yes, it just walked across my bed. And I was like, you got to lay off them Percocets. You got to lay off them Tylenol 3s. Maybe you need to lay off that Coke Classic and the cigarettes. You need to get some sleep. What? Why would a bear walk across your bed? Granny, like, are you serious? She's like, don't ask no questions. Get this out of here. And I'm like, okay. We took it out of there. And as I got older and realized, when I started putting two and two together, thinking about also combining what happened to me, I owe her an apology. Because that's very well possible that it did that. Because something that I couldn't see, hear, smell, taste, treated me like a piece of linguine and threw me up against a wall. And it hit me with that much force to throw me up against the wall. And ever since then, I was like, yeah, I understood that there's a fabric that we live with that we never notice. There's another fabric of existence. Nothing ever did anything to me again. And I never understood that. It's like, why would you have beef with me? I didn't do or say anything to you. Like, don't even really know you exist, you know? Like, what you upset with me for? You know what? I gotta ask my siblings, did everything ever happen to them? None of us have ever talked about it. Like, I've told them that happened to me, but nobody ever voiced that anything happened to them in that regard like that. But you start to really realize that there's another existence. And to me, it's interesting. Like, I always hear about people who sometimes can see. Like, they've been given that gift to see the other realm. To me, I've always been like, man, that's got to be awesome. Till I listen to them explain it, where you constantly have to look at something that you maybe don't want to be looking at or be a part of. Then it starts to sound like, yeah, that's not what's up. And then what happens when that spirit realizes that you can see them, and then they need something from you. And so since they now can see that, they following you around, asking questions, asking you to do this, that, or other. And you're in the natural with your own problems. You don't got time to be dealing with the problems of somebody who's no longer here. Like, and then on top of that, that's just the human part of it. On top of that, can you see the inhuman Who wants to look at that? Somebody looking at you, or something looking at you with a stank attitude, meaning you harm, right? Talking slick to you out the side of your ear, right? Like the things that only God, only the name of Jesus can fix. Can you imagine how troubling that can be? And so I used to be like, God, why can't I see little interesting stuff? Yeah, maybe because I might have a rage problem. I might have a temper flare up and start cussing stuff out. Because I told you, like, told you I'm busy right now. Like, I can see myself. I can see myself doing that. Like, I really could. Like, especially if they, coming at me out of pocket. Like, I could see that. Do y'all ever wonder those kind of things? Do you ever think about those things? What kind of stories do y'all got? Did y'all ever get, not as far as me, but if you did, I'd love to hear it. Have you ever been assaulted by something that you couldn't see? Or do you have that interesting gift where you can see beyond this realm, this spectrum of light that the rest of us can only see in? I still think it's cool. But for someone who's going through that, it may not be cool. So don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that if you are suffering with that that's cool. I'm just saying the aspect of being able to see in a different spectrum. That alone is a gift. That is cool. But if that is causing you torment or pain, like, I'm definitely sorry about that, because that can't be easy, having to deal with that kind of thing. I knew a person about 15 years ago, and he would complain about it. Like, at first, I thought it was all fun and games. Like, I was like, you can see ghosts? What they doing? Until I start really hearing what he wasn't saying. Like the cracking in his voice when he's talking, the hurt, the pain behind being able to see it, the pain of never really feeling alone, where you can feel alone, but he knew he wasn't alone, right? Because when he's trying to have that moment or process that moment alone, there's two spirits standing in front of him asking for something. Like, he would tell me I'm in the shower trying to take a shower in peace, and they standing right outside the shower asking me questions. And it was to the point where he was complaining, where I just ignore. I'm tired of saying, leave me alone. I'm tired of saying it. When you hear that in someone's voice, you start to realize that it is not all glitz and glamour. It's not all fun and games. And from that point on, I kind of was able to see from the other point of view, like the side, like, wow, maybe that's not the gift it's all cracked up to be, But I still know that in my opinion, based on my faith, based on the fact that God gives us gifts to see things, I know that's also, to me, the gifts of the Spirit. To me, those are weapons to help us navigate life, because a lot of us can't see that there's an entity on the side of us who means us harm. But someone else with that gift, they can see it and they can possibly warn us. That's if they're willing to tap into that. They could walk in and tap you and be like, hey. But then again, there's going to be a lot of people who aren't receptive to that. They're going to be like, you crazy, dude, get out of here. They're going to dismiss it. So then that person, they can try to help, but their help is met with, you're crazy, get away from me, don't make me hit you or punch you or report you or something. So it can feel like it's, not as gifty, not as a gift. I just said a word, gifty, not as gift-like as it really is. Because those are tools given to us by the Holy Spirit. People try to make it seem like it's crazy. Nothing is outside of God's control. Everything is in God's control. If God allows you to be able to see in a spectrum of light that not everybody else sees, and that's a gift. That's a gift. That means it is something for you to do something with, to steward well your gift. You have the gift of singing. Bring glory to God's name with that voice. Bring others towards Jesus, salvation, and love with that voice. If giving is something that you just do naturally, right? Give generously. Be happy to help, to know that you were able to help somebody in a time of need. Like me, I'm that person where I feel really happy helping somebody. That's like my guilty selfish thing. I feel happy helping people, you know. Like, yeah, getting gifts is great, right? I love to get cool gifts from people. But I always feel better knowing that I was able to put a smile on somebody's face or alleviate a burden for them to help out with that burden. Because a lot of times we carry burdens and we don't even realize how heavy they are until we are crushed underneath them. And a lot of times we don't even call out to God. And He's walking right there with us. God knows what we're going through, but He desires a relationship with us, right? Like when we have close friends and stuff, we want them to share their burdens. We want to be a part of it with them. You know, they're not always telling you their problems so you can solve it. They're talking to you because they need to get that out. A lot of times we can feel isolated when we don't talk about the things that hurt us. And that's how the devil tries to keep us, you know, underneath pressure by making us think that we're the only person that's going through something. You know, a lot of us go through the same troubles, but we don't talk to each other about it. So we think we have in the mindset in your head, you're like, ugh, I'm going through something again. But if we talk to each other, we'll realize that we're all going through something. We all have a path to walk that's not easy. This is the wilderness down here. Earth is the wilderness from Exodus. We're all walking through it. We're all walking through it just like God walked through the wilderness with them. He had them build a tabernacle so He could dwell within them as a cloud. Just sitting with them. Just sitting there with them. Even though they, you know, maybe taking that for granted at time, He was right there. They could see it. He was right there. You know, that's comforting to know that the God of the universe that created everything, from everything big and small, nothing created didn't come through Him. Everything here that we see, that we enjoy, is in His control. It's in His creation. To know that He wanted to hang out with us. And first of all, in the desert, I'm be honest with you, I don't want to hang out with nobody in the desert. I'm just be real honest about that. It's hot. It's no water. You ain't even got a pool. I'm good. And it's sand. Sand too. I don't know about you, but I don't like sand on me. I don't like it. It gets in my toes and cuts the little tiny meat right there. I don't like my toe meat cut like that. The little paper cuts in the crack of your hands right here. Yeah. Yeah, instantly done. I wear shoes, the little swimming shoes, when I'm anywhere near sand for that reason, because I hate that. So I would not be willingly wanting to hang out with nobody in the desert, you know? And on top of that, we was down there complaining in the desert. We was down there complaining. We was down there complaining while the good Lord was sitting with us in the desert. Sitting with us. Sitting with us. I can only imagine how irritated He was. I can only imagine. Like, we down there line stepping, talking slick. You know, people talk slick under their breath. Talking real slick. Saying all types of stuff. Why you didn't leave us in Egypt? You brought us out here to die. And then remember that part in Exodus when God said, when Moses was like, so you told us to go out there. I'm not going until you tell me who going with me. And God was like, well, I probably shouldn't be going with you, lest, He said, I won't go with you lest I consume you on the way. I looked at many translations for that. Consume, destroy. Basically, you ought to, he said, you're a stiff-necked people, so I might consume you on the way. So imagine how slick you must be talking. God brought you out of slavery from Egypt. On the way, He's walking with you on the way. But because you talking so slick, you so reckless about the mouth, that He's like, yeah, who you talking to, fam? You know who I am? I might not go with you because I might have to destroy you and consume you on the way, because God is a consuming fire. So all that unrighteousness, unholiness, that would not be able to persist in his presence. All that disrespect, that's not gonna be able to ride. So he was like, I'm gonna send an angel. I'm gonna send an angel. Basically, it's a play around and find out. Like, that's how I saw it, and that made me laugh so much. This camera is so close to my face, you can see just how fat my little head is. But you know what? Vivica. You know what? I will. Her new name, Vivica. Her new name, this damn tag. Yeah, her name, Vivica. Her name, Vivica. Mm-hmm. 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 Tell me you don't like it like this. What's wrong with y'all? You don't know me like that. Stay out of my business. I love it like this. You know what? I almost want to put something right here, but I don't know. Like maybe some rhinestones or something. I don't know, to give it a little razzle dazzle. But you know what? Let's do some mystery. Let's do some mystery. Wait, hold on. Where you can only see this side. Hold on. Where you gotta turn a little bit to the side. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. That's hitting. And y'all make sure to gas me up in them comments though. Don't come for me. Don't come for me in my like Chia pet hair. I was gonna shave it off, but then God is just gonna put it right back there in like 2 weeks. Like I had my cousin shave off my entire hair, all of it, in like February. This is April, it's back. I'm gonna ask my cousin, but I think I had her shave it off completely. I had her get the clippers and shave it all off in February. And it's back. It's back. Like, it's like a running joke. Like God is like, oh, you think you can just shave off? You can't stop what I have placed to go. I've placed this there to be there. You can't stop that. That's what I said has to go there. But I'm not going to give you any hair in the first like 4 inches of your head. I will give you some hair in the back though. You just make a back ponytail out of that. Is that what you're expecting of me, Lord? To just forget it and just make a back ponytail? Because literally, you know what? As I think about this, that is what my head is. Where it's just like, this is all the scalp and then it's got some hair in the back. Wow, Lord, I feel attacked and I'm unhappy about it right now. Yes, this part is all my scalp, right? But then the hair is in the back because if I let this keep growing out, it will grow into a ponytail, like full on ponytail. Like I've let it grow out to where it's gotten like this long. And my hair is very coily and kinky, just like this. So when you stretch it out, it's really long. It was at a point where I had like a foot long of hair back there in a ponytail, and I was just tying it up in a little bitty bun, a little baby knot. Cause like, what am I supposed to do with it? What am I supposed to do? Like, and the only thing is, like, when you have a wig and you put your spray and stuff, it get caught in a way. And then when you want to snatch your, like, sometimes when you it's nothing like when you have your hair like this, right? When you got your wig on and you come in after a long day, it's nothing like, that makes you feel so good. At least for me. I don't know about you, but it makes me feel so free to just snatch that off. Like, look at this. Ridiculous. My head is so big. Thanks, Dad. I got that from my dad. I should shave that on off. Because it's just being real difficult. Yes, this was not there. I couldn't do this like 2 weeks ago. So it grows like freaking weeds from, I can't even tell you. But for people who don't know, and I think I said it already, but I will say it again. PCOS is tiring. It really is tiring, but it doesn't stop the show because you can always take different hair off, put different hair on. Like I have tons of different wigs that I can just play in and have fun in, and I don't really have to think about it too much. But a lot of time it takes you a while to get to that point where you're just like, okay, this is my new normal. This is the new life that I live, right? It took years to get to that point where you're just like, whatever. Who cares? Like, because when I was born, I had hair. My hair didn't start falling off officially until I got to like 17. I started noticing thinning, right? It started off with my sides, right? Then it slowly creeped its way up, to the crown. Like this was the last parts to go. It started coming together like just slowly erasing like this. And then it would go like that, right? So all the time when I was growing up, I had hair. So, I loved getting my kinky twists. I love those. Oh my god, I miss my kinky twists. But I used to get my braids because one thing I never really liked combing my hair because my hair always was very, very coily, like super coily. And so it tangles easily, and I'm kind of tender headed, and so I hated that. And so my grandmother would start straightening our hair like with the hot comb. So I remember those days when it was hot, you know but you start to, and I don't want to get off track on that, but you start to, when you look in the mirror and parts of something that you're so used to seeing starts to disappear, you start to have like a image issue. You start to be like, well, who even am I don't even know who I am at this point. And once it gets to a point where it's like this, you start like, I don't even recognize myself. So in the mirror, when you see yourself, you don't see yourself. You see an alien. You see someone else who you never knew. And you have those issues of validation. You have those issues where, am I still pretty? Am I still beautiful? How do I feel about myself? I don't even know who I am. You start struggling with that mentally. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize that when you're so used to seeing a version of you that you've always seen in a certain light, and then that version of you is shattered, how that affects you mentally. And it starts to affect everything. The things that you used to love, the things you used to like, things that you wanted to do. It stops you from doing certain things because you have that moment where you're depressed. You have those moments where you just don't want to talk to anybody, where sometimes you isolate yourself because you feel alone, in that world where you're like, I'm by myself. Nobody understands what I'm going through. But once I start realizing that half the planet suffers from some type of hair loss, whether it's medical, whether it's an accident that took place and it never fully goes back to the way that it was when they were, seeing themselves in a certain light, over time, you start realizing that my value was never in the hair. My worth was never in my hair because you start to realize my character didn't change. Who I am at my core didn't change. The way I interact with things changed. But who God called me to be had never changed. Who God sees me as didn't change. He doesn't see me based on my hair. He sees me based on my heart. And I have to separate the two because, God is supernatural. God is in the supernatural. He's in the spirit realm. But I myself am human. I live the human experience in the natural realm. Most people are going to, and I'm understanding of that. Most people are going to come in the comments and, well, what's going on with you? Well, you should have did this or you should have did this. If you want to grow your hair, you need to do this. I have to preface you and say, please don't even waste your time typing that, because you have to believe if there's something that would get my hair back, I would have done it already 15 years ago, sweetie. This is a ongoing medical condition that right now doesn't have really a cure, unfortunately. Which I wish that somebody would start working on, because what's the holdup? We got people in space, but you can't figure out how to get my hair back? Why are we working on anything in space if my hair is not where it should be? So, when you start walking with God a little closer, He'll remind you that It was never the focus point that you should have been on. That's why you were giving yourself such a hard time. That's why you were so focused on trying to get it back and trying to do this and trying to do that so you could see yourself in a different way that I never meant you to see yourself in. God sent me here as a warrior, and he was willing to put his life on the line and die for that. When I had hair, nobody was dying for me. So if I don't have hair, they still not dying for me. So what am I worried about what they got going on? If somebody sees me as acceptable because I have or don't have hair. You know what I mean? It took a while to get to that point where you're just like, yeah, I don't really care. I don't really care. But it takes a while to get to that. So if there are people, especially younger people, who are struggling with that, just realize that your hair, sometimes it's gonna, if you have a condition like PCOS and other underlying conditions, sometimes your hair will fall. I want to encourage you not to stress, not to think of yourself as less than, not to think of yourself as unworthy, not to think of yourself as not beautiful. You are gorgeous and beautiful in the way that you were made and put on this planet. Everything is within God's control. So it means that you have a purpose. Your suffering has a purpose. Your pain has a purpose. Don't let anyone tell you differently. It has a purpose. So it may not be purposed evidently where you can see it immediately. It may not be where I'm sorry, I had a call coming in. I'll call you back, mama. It may not be something, a lot of people want to say, well, what is the purpose? It may not present itself within the next week, the next month, the next year. You may run into somebody who feels so hurt and broken by the pain and suffering that they're going through, and you realize that you went through that same thing. And in that moment, you can hold them and uplift them and encourage them and bring their attention back to God himself, who is the source of love, the source of comfort, the source of peace, the source of kindness. You never know, you may be able to pull a person off the edge, because just knowing that somebody else went through the same suffering and pain that they went through means magnitudes to them. Don't forget that. Just remember, you're just living an experience here. The path will not be easy. It will not be sugar-coated. I wish it was, because I would sugarcoat and paint some edges right up off and through here. Ridiculousness. But I don't even, you know what, at this point, I don't even know what's more ridiculous. This? Or me getting a unit that resembles this and not even realizing that I've had this. I think I've had this for years. Because, wow, and I love this. Which means that technically I love this, because this is this. Lord, I feel attacked. I don't appreciate being attacked on Thursday, right before Friday Junior. This is Friday Junior. I don't appreciate being attacked, Lord, on Friday Junior. It's just not right. Dude, y'all ever had this Summer Fridays? I got this from Sephora, but it's the vanilla beige. Best lip gloss ever. When I tell you, if you love vanilla and you love marshmallow, please get you some of this. Get this ASAP. Come back in the comments and let me know how you feel about it. Let me know how you feel about it. But on a side note, just this is my last statement on that before I let you guys go. If getting a wig feels normal to you, makes you feel normal until you get used to being without that which you used to have, do so. Don't let anybody discourage you from that. Lots of people wear wigs. Don't feel like you're the only one. Just pick one that you like, that accentuates your personality and your character. That's what I do. And I can change them, do what I want when I want. Like, everybody has some hair loss issues that they're working with. Some people have the money to go to Turkey and get it fixed. I mean, at this point, I don't know if I would waste $10,000 to get it fixed. I would if I had it, maybe. Who knows? If I ever get to that point where I want to go to Turkey and get it fixed, I'm taking y'all with me, right? But it's taught me so much. And a lot of things I have to think about, like that part of me that had to shed away for me to learn extra stuff. I don't think I would have learned it if I didn't have this path. I don't think I would have been able to comfort other people that I've comforted this time if this hadn't been the path that God had me on. There's certain pains and sufferings that I've gone through in a direct correlation with this, that I had to work through, that I had to build upon, that only God could get me through. There were days when I'm just like, dude, we jump off a building. This is just, it would be easier. And in my ignorance, that's what I was thinking. In my hurt, that's what I was thinking. In my suffering, that's what I was thinking. Now you just want to toss in a towel and be like, ugh. And then I had to come back to my senses like, I can't let this break me. This is designed to hurt me, to take something from me. No, it's designed to build character. Sometimes you don't realize how well you are mentally and physically until you have to have something painful done. Pain is a teacher. It grows you. And it's not always the easiest to learn. Sometimes you have to go through things several times. Sometimes. You really do. But I really hope that people remember that everybody is suffering something. If you want to get some work done, get it done. But do it for you. Do it so you know. But if you're doing it, do it because you really genuinely like it and you want to do it. Don't do it because you feel like you are not beautiful or not pretty and you have to do this to get attention from people. You'll never be happy that way. You really won't. You have to do it from a place of a healed place. Like, this is just something I like to do, like a hobby, you know? This is fun, you know? I like the way this sits in here. I want to get my boobs done, but surgery? I don't do pain very well. I'm gonna be honest about that. I stumped my toe. I'm done for the day. But let me get up off here because I will ramble on and talk to y'all all night. But I want y'all to be safe, be blessed, and talk to God if you haven't talked to him lately. Talk to him. He's sitting with you. He's just waiting for you. He knows what you're going through, but he wants a relationship with you to where you feel comfortable talking with him, where you feel comfortable sharing the things that hurt you, just like a good friend and a father. He wants to know what's happening with you, right? But till next time, Godspeed, God bless, and don't find yourself getting no Vivica Fox collection wig like myself. Let me put on Viv. Let's put on Viv. You know what? I wonder how it looked like this. You know what? I don't mind this. Look at this. I don't mind this. What y'all think about this? Wait, hold on. Yeah, we should leave it just like this. You know, at this point, I'm really, really ready to go into Walgreens just like this. Oh, Lord, help me. But it don't even fit across my head right. And I love this wig and I hate this wig. Vivica should really have her production team question behind this. I wonder, are these even still in production? Because if you got this still in production, that let me know that you don't give a damn. Bye, y'all. I'm out of here. Ari signing out. Bye. Gotta get out of here.